Okay, August was a bit of a roller coaster. We had books that kept us way past our bedtime, books we couldn't put down,
books that we didn't think we would ever want to read again after reading them.
So today we're going to go through our August wrap-up. We're going to try a different style this time. We're going to do quick one-line summaries of what we read, and then we're going to play a game where I try to pick her favorite and least favorite just off the one-line summary, and then she's going to do the same for me.
So grab your favorite beverage and settle in for this wild ride talking about books.
In August, I read 7 books, so I'm going to get... You read the same amount. I'm going to give you my one-sentence summaries.
Were some of them novellas?
Some of them were novellas, yes. Is that important information?
No,
do you
not
know?
really.
Okay, all right.
It doesn't lessen it at all.
Okay. The first book I read this month was Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite. This was a novella. Here's my one-sentence summary. An interstellar detective has to use another person's body to solve mind-deleting murders in a brief, cozy mystery.
Wow. Okay. That really summarized. That was a good synopsis.
Thank you. After that, I read Exit Strategy, which is the 4th book in the Murderbot series.
Okay.
So it's by Martha Wells, if you haven't read any of those yet. And I think I can do the summary without giving too much. It doesn't spoil the previous books. So this is a snarky security bot who just wants to watch TV, finds itself forced to protect the only human it respects, resulting in a surprising sci-fi adventure.
Good, good.
Okay, and I would say that is specific to that book. Next, I read Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which is the 2nd book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. I have that one, so I can hold that one up. So this is the one with Princess Donut, by the way.
Okay.
Since you kept asking.
Is Princess Donut in this one as well?
Yeah, I think she's in all of them,
okay,
as far as I know.
Character.
Yes. This is a series by Matt Dinniman. I highly suggest the audio. In this action-packed installment, Carl and Princess Donut face an undead circus and raining corpses while fighting to survive the dungeon.
Oh, wow. Does that genre fall under humor? Is it drama?
It's lit RPG is what it is. So it reads like a video game.
Okay.
But I would say it's fantasy humor, fantasy,
what does
sci-fi.
RPG stand for?
Role-playing game. It's like a video game. It plays, it's literature like a video game.
Gotcha.
Then we both read The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, so
click that previous video.
Click this link to watch that video. So we're not going to do that one because, and I'm not including it in our guessing or anything like that either. Then I read another library book, also a novella called Brighter Than Scale, Swifter Than Flame by Nian Yang. The plot for this one: a reclusive dragon hunter must risk opening her own heart and mind to learn the secrets of a mysterious queen and her people.
Okay.
Then I read The God in the Gumiho. This is one of my pretty books. This is by Sophie Kim. I will put a picture of the other copy over here because it looks nothing like this. A fox spirit, which is what a Gumiho is.
Okay.
A fox spirit works with a fallen god tasked with her demise to save the world she loves in this supernatural adventure that will likely appeal to most K-drama fans. Do you know what K-drama is?
I do not.
Korean drama.
Oh, okay.
Like K-pop,
gotcha.
But Korean drama.
Is that what the K stands for?
There's also J-pop. What do you think?
Never dawned on me.
What do you think J-pop
Japanese?
Yeah. I know, it's okay though.
Is there C-pop?
Maybe, but no, I think that has another name. And then I was able to end, this was an ebook, this was actually an ARC. I ended the month with These Memories Do Not Belong to Us by Yiming Ma, or Yiming Ma. I'm not quite sure how you say that. In this powerful sci-fi novel, a man must share his mother's memories to the world before a futuristic authoritarian state can use their brain implant technology to continue to manipulate history.
Ooh, that sounds like a very timely book to be reading.
So those were my 6 one-sentence summaries because we're not counting Amina.
Okay.
So now it's your turn.
All right. So mine also in the order of which I read, and I did 7 books this month. The first one I read was Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna, one of my favorite authors. This book is about an unbalanced friendship between 2 teenage girls navigating 3 decades of social and cultural changes that began in the 70s that challenged the impossible dichotomy of career and being a mother.
That was very good. Good summary.
Thank you.
I made her cut that one down a little bit.
Rough. It went through 30 years of two people's lives.
I know, I get it.
The second book that I read was The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. At the grand opening of a luxury retreat built in an old grand estate, a series of horrific events forces guests and staff to confront long-buried secrets and treacheries tied to the mansion's evil past under the vengeful eye of the Birds, a local mythical flock believed to be the ancient protectors of the land.
I'm assuming from what I know about Lucy Foley, it's a thriller mystery. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, it is a thriller mystery. The next book is Shark Heart by Emily Haybeck. A newlywed's love is tested when the husband is diagnosed with a rare condition that is slowly transforming him into a great white shark. This is a fictional book.
Thanks for clarifying.
My next book was The Deadly Mystery of the Missing Diamonds by T.E. Kinsey. It is about two jazz musicians in 1925 London that are recruited to help Scotland Yard investigate a World War I deserter suspected of stealing a fortune in diamonds and storing them in their band's resident private club. Oh. Very film noir. The next one was The Blessing Way by Tony Hillerman, a Navajo tribal policeman investigating a strange murder in the New Mexico desert that forces him to navigate the complex and conflicting worlds of spiritual beliefs, tribal law, and modern crime. And the last one that I read is The Medicine Woman of Galveston by Amanda Skenandor. A struggling female doctor with a disabled son is forced to join a traveling medicine show to pay her debts, only to be confronted with hostility, abuse, and shame as she seeks redemption and validation.
Okay, so it's time for the guessing game. So we have to guess each other's favorites and least favorites.
Okay.
Based purely on what we just said. To be clear, I haven't read any of the books other than Amin al-Sarafi.
Right.
I haven't read any that you have, and you haven't read any that I have.
That's true. I have read some of the Murderbot series, though.
That's true, yeah. And we're not counting Amin al-Sarafi because we already talked all about that. We know how we felt about it.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Based on your one sentence synopsis.
Okay, so
you
there was Murder by Memory, Exit Strategy, Carl's Doomsday Scenario, which was the Dungeon Crawler Carl book, Brighter Than Scale, Swifter Than Flame, The God and the Gamiho, and These Memories Do Not Belong to Us.
Murder by Memory, an interstellar detective. Exit Strategy. I do like the Murderbots. Okay, so Exit Strategy, I'm definitely going to read that. In this action-packed Carl and Princess Donut, I know you like those, the Carl one. Reclusive dragon hunter must risk opening her own heart and mind. Now, These Memories, you said that was an ARC book.
Well, it's technically out. It came out August 12th. Okay. I got it as an ARC. I just got to it, though.
Oh, okay. So is this her first book?
I believe for both Brighter Than Scale, Swifter Than Flame, and These Memories Do Not Belong to Us, these are a debut. They are their debut novels.
For some reason, I'm just migrating to that one, These Memories Do Not Belong to Us, because I don't know, it just sounds like something I would like to read.
So you think that was my favorite?
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm going on, based on.
What do you think was my least favorite? You have to guess that before I...
Your least favorite?
Before I reveal.
I don't see you being a big K-drama fan, but maybe you are. I just found out how much you like hot dogs. Saturday. No idea.
Says the woman who had a package of 12 hot dogs.
Well, they're easy to cook and they're cheap when you're feeding a lot of people. I am guessing, let's see, I know you had to have liked the Murderbot one. Murder by Memory, Another Person's Body. That one sounds really interesting. So I'm guessing The God and the Gamiho.
Yeah. These Memories Do Not Belong to Us is my favorite, and The God and the Gamiho is my least favorite.
That's what I'm guessing. Am I even close?
You are. I would actually say you're dead on for the favorite.
Oh, good.
So These Memories Do Not Belong to Us there's 3 that I rated as 4.5. So Amin al-Sarafi, I talked to you about how highly I rated that one. Dungeon Crawler Carl. And then These Memories Do Not Belong to Us. But I would say out of those 3, that one was my favorite because I just keep thinking about it. The God in the Gamiho was, I thought I was going into an ancient Korea story about like Korean gods, but it was not. It was a modern day urban fantasy where these gods and spirits live in the modern day world. I should have figured from the picture that it was modern day. And I think part of the reason I didn't like it is because I've seen my fair share of anime and I don't really like manga. I've tried to read some, but so it's really campy. Like even the really dramatic anime still has really like campy humor in it. And where like all of a sudden they're like, you know, shoveling food in their mouth or doing silly things like that. And that's how the book read. Like there were times when the book read very juvenile. And I think if you were, it probably did have a lot of Easter eggs and homages to K-drama and K-pop music, but that is not.
You don't follow that.
It just kept going. I'm like, why is this so weird like that? Like, it just thought it was so weird. Technically, I rated Murder by Memory lower, but it was a novella. Novellas are even harder for me to really, like, it's not as much oomph to, like, get into the story. Like, it's short enough that, you know, it's just kind of like, I'm not going to DNF a novella. It's like 200 pages, you know? But Murder by Memory, I felt like I was reading the spark notes of a bigger book. I would have rather that have been a more fleshed out novel. So I would say that The God in the Gamiho was technically lower, even though my star rating wasn't lower.
Okay.
So good job, you got it. There. Okay, so
I feel like I'm going to be easy.
Well, I don't know. You have, so like, I know you really like Kristen Hanna and Firefly Lane. I'm guessing Lucy Foley was your palate cleanser. I know Shark Heart was, I've heard it's weird, and I think people either like it or they don't, and I know you were struggling with it, so I'm guessing that wasn't your favorite. The Deadly Mysteries of the Missing Diamonds sounds right up your alley, but then there's Kristen Hanna, so I'm kind of torn between those two. Oh, and then you did actually The Medicine Woman of Galveston is also right up your alley. I feel like your top ones were The Deadly Mystery of the Diamonds, The Medicine Woman of Galveston, and Kristen Hanna. I'm gonna say Firefly Lane was your favorite because it's about women in the 70s, and that is like, that's you, don't say anything. And then I feel bad because of all of these. I feel like Shark Heart was probably your least favorite because it's out there. It's not a palate cleanser, not a historical fiction. It was probably not like anything that you've read before.
You were close.
Okay.
On the one that I disliked the most, but totally off on the one I liked the most.
Really?
Yeah.
Was my top three? Was it one of the top three?
I mean, they were up there with The Medicine Woman of Galveston was a close second.
Okay.
Great story, great ending, great comeuppance.
Yeah.
But there were bits of it where she was just too whiny or just let too many things happen to her. I mean, this was in the turn of the 1900s, and she went to a woman's college and got her degree as a doctor, but couldn't get work. She was smarter and more educated than the male doctors, and they were in the operating arena, and she had been getting on the lead physician about letting her answer questions and do things, and he finally came down on her and said, when I want to call on you, I'll call on you, and blah, blah, blah. And he decided to show her up during a hysterectomy, and she ended up killing the patient.
Oh, jeez.
But he didn't step in and help. All he did was stand there and yell at her that she was killing this woman.
So this wasn't your favorite, though?
It was my second favorite.
Okay, so what was your favorite?
My favorite was The Midnight Feast.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
It was a last-minute twist.
Oh.
Totally comeuppance. I wish the world worked that way because the evil people are getting away with it all. And you think this person is going to get their revenge, and they do, but then you find out this person had more to avenge, and you get to the very end, it's like, oh my God.
Wow. Okay, so it had a really big twist.
It was a good twist, a good story. Firefly Lane, I liked it. I could totally vibe with the time frame.
It's not historical fiction, though. Like,
no, it's not a specific historical time. It's sort of like Forrest Gump, where there's a lot of reference to what's going on.
Yeah.
Because the one character is in news. She's a newscaster.
Oh, okay, so you hear about the events.
Yeah, so she's like following all this stuff that's going on, and like they actually did a a piece about going down to Nicaragua and the Sandinistas,
which you
and
did,
I was there at that time.
So what about it made it not? Was it your favorite Kristen Hanna or not your favorite?
Not
Kristen
as
Hanna?
my least favorite Kristen Hanna
so
that
why?
I've read so far. I had trouble with the upbringing of the characters, and I keep thinking about this. I mean, this is just me. The way they responded to things seemed opposite of what I think characters that had been raised in those upbringings would be like. There was one big incident where I was like, if my best friend did that to me, I would never, ever, ever speak to her again.
Okay, so was it like the last thing he told me where it just didn't seem realistic?
There were some very unplausible pieces to it, I think. My friend Diane also read it, and I mentioned it, and she also will say she loves Kristen Hanna and the women and all those. And when I mentioned I was reading Firefly Lane, she was kind of like, eh. So I'm not giving up on Kristen Hanna.
Got it. Hey, but, maybe it was her early one.
Sharkheart was down there among my least favorite, although I kept thinking about it, and if you read it as an analogy, it works. Some people had talked about, instead of becoming a shark, this is a person who has dementia, and so how you start to lose the person that you love and you don't know them anymore. Yeah, it was really out there. And I thought it was weird. Like, if you're gonna transform into something, don't.
Why that?
Yeah, that was like the most bizarre thing. And the animals that they were transforming into, it wasn't just you turned into a great white shark. The premise was there were mutations that people would transform into animals, and one of them was turning into a Komodo dragon. And I'm like, that's just like out of the blue. I think probably my least favorite thus far has been The Blessing Way. And
which is surprising, because that to me seems, it's a mystery, Native American.
I almost DNF'd it because I just wasn't getting anything out of it. I like, no matter whether it's fiction or nonfiction or whatever, something clicks that I can use in my thoughts throughout my life, and that's how I like a book. I was way into this book, and it was basically modern day. Natives are poor, they're struggling, they're barely keeping a hold of their ways, which depresses the hell out of me. I know that's true and realistic. It was narrated by a guy, and I cranked it up to 1.75 times speed, which is fast for me. And he still was going too slow, sort of, and he just sort of, there
like
was no changing in his voice.
If you had to recommend one of the books you read in August to a complete stranger, you don't know anything about them, what book would it be?
I would highly recommend The Midnight Feast to just about anybody. I think everybody should read it. I think everybody would get something out of it. It wasn't a chick book. It wasn't a rom-com. It wasn't, wish life was this way.
It's on my TBR now.
Good. I think you'll like it. Which book would you hand to me without any hesitation?
I kind of want you to read the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, because
I kind of want to, too.
It's very topical. It's satirical. Like, he's poking fun of a lot of society. The audio is amazing. The guy that does the audio,
is it?
which I have him on my Audible. You could just listen to him.
Okay.
That's because that's the only place to get them. They open prize boxes and they have points, and like that's the video game aspect. But if you're listening to it, that doesn't feel so bad.
Now that I'm thinking about the one that I said that I didn't like, The Blessing Way, I'm wondering how much it is because of the narrator.
Audio. Yeah, that could be.
He's sort of changing his voice for the girl, but not a lot.
If any of the books that you read this August was turned into a movie or TV series and you had to watch it, which one would you want to watch?
Which one would I want to watch? I would actually probably choose The Medicine Woman of Galveston. I think that would really make a nice movie. She ended up sort of working for a medicine man in a medicine show, and they were living like a very circus, carnival kind of life.
Oh, okay.
So I could see it being very colorful. Along these lines, Firefly Lane is on Netflix as a series, and I watched the first one, and they changed the story so abhorrently, in my opinion. I have not not gone back to watch it.
So don't watch that. Or would you redo it?
I don't know. It makes me angry what they did. In the book, Kate, one of the girlfriends, she's not very secure about herself, but she marries this man who started out dating and going out with her best friend.
Right.
They're young adults when this happens. But he marries her, and all throughout the book, he is 100% in love, behind her.
Okay.
Always reminding her how much he loves her. In the first episode of the series, they're divorced, separated.
Oh, wow.
I know. To me, that was
like a core
very important part of the book.
Interesting.
There was never a moment in the book that I recall where their relationship was that much in question to where one left. Was there a book that grew on you after you finished it that you just kept thinking about?
These memories do not belong to us. I thought I was going into a plot-forward story about the back of the book tells you that a man has inherited his mother's memories, that she has died, and in this world, everybody has like a memory implant. China.
That would be so cool. Like you could just USB plug it in.
They don't even have to do that. But in this world, China has taken over the world because they came up with the technology. I think America is called the fourth world, like that. You know how we have third world country. We're a fourth world country. They've taken over the world because of this technology. You can visit people through your memory bank. You can buy memories. Like people, like they're like
you never have to leave out of the Barca launcher.
Yeah, no. You can experience other people's memories. So I thought I was going into a plot-forward movie because he's inherited. He's inherited his mother's memories and he is releasing them to the world. And these are memories that the party doesn't want people to get access to. So he knows that they're going to come after him. All of that happens in the first 2 pages.
Oh my gosh.
The rest of the book is actually a series of short stories. And and when I listened to the audio too while I was reading it, and when it was introducing the cast, it had 14 people, and I was like, whoa.
You can keep track.
It's because each chapter is a different person. It's not told chronologically. They do tell you, like, it's very obvious this is before the war, this is during the war, this is after the war. So you know where you are in the history. And there's little, I'll call them Easter eggs, to other chapters. Like, for example, there's one character that is, his parents immigrated, his dad immigrated first. He recalls like the struggles that his parents had. You see his story in the future, and he's like going to Dartmouth. Well, then in another chapter, there's an activist that is picking up the narrator, and he has a Dartmouth hoodie in the backseat of his car, and he says, "Oh, my roommate's moving, but he can't come get his stuff right now." And so it's like they're not blatant. So there isn't there's not even an interconnectedness between all the short stories. Really, you're just learning about what has happened to the world and all of the negative ways that altering and, having your memories controlled, like how negative that can result in things. Yeah. And so at first I didn't like it because I thought I was like, these are just a bunch of short stories. I don't know what's happening. But then by the end, they were all written so descriptively. You don't even know the names of half of the people that are telling you because you're experiencing their memories is what it is. And it was so beautifully written. I could visualize all of it. And then at the end, I realized, I was like, if somebody from the future came back and looked at the memories of people in this world, this is probably what they would experience them like. And you wouldn't necessarily know exactly what was going on, but you would pick up things here and there. And so by the end, I was like, oh yeah, that worked really well. Like I totally understand that.
Love that.
Yeah. So would you want to meet any of the main characters in real life from any of the books that you read this month?
Oh, like how in what terms do you mean meet them? Like hang out, have a conversation with them?
Go to dinner. If you could invite them to dinner.
If I could invite one of my main characters
that's
to
like
dinner.
An old classic question. Living or dead?
It'd be that poor woman from, medicine woman from Galveston.
You said she was annoying.
Oh my God. This is kind of strange, but in the Midnight Feast, one of the main characters is this woman that is all natural aura and crystals and special teas and never allowing smoke anywhere on the property. She's the one that is doing the grand opening she's wealthy. You can tell she's wealthy. She is just all peace and love and you hate her. You just hate her. The more she talks, the more you hate her. which is weird because I've met lots of Earth mothers and you just want to hug them and love him. And this woman is just that obnoxious. You just want to hate her.
So why is she the one that you would want to meet?
Because I want to find out why I hate her so much. Okay. She's so well written.
Okay.
That's who the character
seems like when I asked you the would you rathers and you said you'd rather be the villain, it almost seems like you'd rather meet the villain too.
Definitely maybe was the villain in the book, but I don't want to give too much away. So was there a quote or a moment that stuck with you from one of the books?
Yeah, I decided to go with a Dungeon Crawler Carl quote just to kind of, end on a high note.
Just to entice me.
Yeah, so that's a good way to think of it. So this is a quote from Princess Donut, and as you can see, it's pretty far in the book, so this is towards the end. Don't worry, it's not going to spoil anything though. Carl and Donut are in a very treacherous, precarious situation, and if I remember right, I think Carl is on the verge of like sacrificing himself for this party. I mean, not intentionally, but he thinks that's where it's gonna go. He even says, my original plan was to have Donut stay outside while I went inside, but she absolutely refused. And Princess Donut, which is a cat that talks, by the way, says, I wish I could do this in the guy's voice.
Cat's language.
You gotta hear the audio guy do it. You promised me that I wouldn't die alone, she said. You can't keep that promise if you die before me. We do this together. And I would say that is very indicative of, I'm already on the third book, and I would say that's very indicative of their relationship from the get-go. Is they're gonna train together, they're gonna do this together, they're not gonna leave each other's side, and they're a good duo.
Very unlike a cat.
See, look, they're even on the cover together. That's Princess. She's not huge. I don't know why she looks huge on the cover, but
she's closer to the.
Is that what it is? She's farther ahead. Yeah, it's perspective. We'll finish this up with a quick TBR check-ins. We had done the glamping TBR. Yeah. So how did you do with the books that were on that TBR?
I got through them all. I probably wouldn't have picked any of them up.
Okay. Do you regret any of them?
There were a couple of times I thought I would stop reading Shark Heart.
Okay.
And there were a couple of times when I thought I'd stop reading The Blessing Way.
Okay.
I powered through Shark Heart and enjoyed it. It was worth finishing for me.
Okay.
The Blessing Way, I could have skipped it,
Okay,
but
you should have DNF'd it.
I thought about it.
From my TBR Tumble short, I was able to read all except I did not finish one. This was part of my nonfiction. This is one of Mary Roach's books.
I love Mary Roach.
And I'm about 50% of the way through. It's easy to pick up and put down, and so I still read it here and there. Her other nonfictions I've read, Gulp and Stiff are the other two. So Stiff and Gulp I've read, and those were not a slog. They were not a struggle. I wanted to keep reading them until I was done.
Right.
That's not the way this one is. There's other things that I want to read instead. So it's not bad. I like it. Each chapter is about a different animal. So maybe it's the subject matter isn't as enticing to me as like the human body, because I've read the other ones are related to the human body, and this is more, it's about animals and their interactions with humans. The laws are kind of funny that you learn about and things like that.
There's humor in it.
Yes, exactly. So I read 98% of my TBR is what I'll call it.
Good for you.
But that's okay. You don't have to finish a TBR. So.
I win. I never win any of our games.
Fine, you're right. I blew you out of the water with judging books by their covers. So that wraps up our August month. I think we had a great month of reading.
Yeah.
And we're excited for what's going to come in September, because we're going to go film that right now, actually.
Yeah.
But you won't see it until later.
Let us know in the comments your favorite August reads and the ones that surprised you most.
And if you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe so you know when our next video drops.
Happy reading!
You messed it up. I'm just kidding.
Right. So grab your favorite beverage.
This is one of those ones that has like
all the really, and you still annotated it. Okay.
So they can visually see how much shorter mine are than you. I'm just kidding. No, okay.
Shark Heart by Emily Haybeck.
Hold it up higher. Okay, now you don't have to hold it that high.
Shark Heart.
Don't look.
Oh, I should have done that so we could guess on the dating game.
No. I wrote down my ratings.
The God in the Gumbo.
Camille.
The God in the Camino. I told you I was tired.
I can see why it looks like gumbo from here. You know how it's like, we probably don't know why you've ever seen manga or anime, but it's really...
I've seen the outside cover. That's, that sentence is wrong. You're not supposed to end it with a...
Okay, well, you change it then. I don't know grammar.